if that's love, then I'm happy for her. But I lost. I said, you are actually the fakest person. Right. Everything that comes out your mouth, Annie, is negative.
I know what it feels to love and lose. It's the hardest. So she's built this wall right now, very high.
He actually can't walk in the streets of Nigeria because there's people out to get you.
How? I'm out every day on the streets. How?
Welcome to Reality Check with Adeze. Here I discuss reality shows, movies, trending topics, and topics that I find fascinating. Okay, today we are talking young, famous, and African. I usually call it young, rich, and African, but anyway, yes, young, famous, and African season 3 is out, and I'm going to be discussing episodes 1 and 2 today. By the way, all the episodes are out. Okay, you guys, I literally had to hold myself from watching all the episodes. I'm going to be doing 2 episodes per video, so that's going to be 4 videos in total, right? If you have watched ahead, do not mention anything that's going to spoil the other episodes for me or for anybody who is watching this, okay, please. So Young, Famous, and African is a reality show on Netflix that brings together young, famous, rich Africans. Some of the familiar names in the entertainment industry in Africa, they come together in South Africa. They're like a group of friends, and I use friends really lightly because I'm not really sure who they are to each other, but they're like a group of friends who come together, you know, to just have fun and give us drama. And drama they always give us, okay? When it comes to drama, Young, Famous, and African serves it to us hot, okay? They never disappoint, and I love that about the show. And also when it comes to glitz, glamour, wealth, display of wealth, fashion, Young, Famous, and African always delivers. Real Housewives of Lagos, you guys need to take notes. The fashion, the production, okay, the production level is always top notch. When it comes to the visuals, the sound, they always deliver, and they're really good. It is actually a proper Netflix standard reality show. So on the cast of Young, Famous, and African, from Nigeria, we have Annie Idibia and Swanky Jerry. We also have Diamond Platnumz, we have Zari, the boss lady, we have Fantana, who is a musician. We also have Nadia, she's a rapper and she was dating the late AKA. We also have Naked DJ and his girlfriend Kaylee. Then there's Louis, or Louis, they call him Louis, but it's written or it's spelled Louis, who is from Namibia, and he's a famous fashion person in Namibia. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with some of these people. Then also on this season, we have 2 new faces, Kafir and Iniedo. I'm going to get into them later on, but let's get into episodes 1 and 2. So the first episode is basically all about Zari, the boss lady, getting married to her boyfriend, Shakib. This first episode, basically we see all the cast, as in the ones that are on this season. We see all of them gathered together for Zari's wedding, and most of them were shocked that they were invited by Zari. Annie was shocked, Nadia was kind of shocked, and then Fantana was shocked as well, because if you guys remember, last season Fantana was dating Diamond Platnumz. Diamond Platnumz is ex-husband to Zari, and they have 2 kids together. Now in the last season, Fantana was dating Diamond Platnumz, and it caused a ruckus between her and Zari where they exchanged words. Apparently, the exchange of words did not just end on the show, they also went at each other on social media. Okay, so that's why Fantana was like, okay, why are you bringing me here? We obviously know that we're both not cool with each other, but she decided to go. She said let her just go there and, you know, basically laugh and just have fun. Also, last season there was a fallout between Annie and Swanky Jerry, and most people on the cast sided with Swanky. Okay, so Annie was like, I'm going into a gathering of my enemies, in quotes. Basically, like, most people there are snakes, so she doesn't know why she's being invited, but she's going to go anyways. Now, before I even continue, I want to say something. Now, most of the cast, or all the cast, they look really good. Like, their outfits, their confessional outfits, the outfits they wear on the show looks really good, right? However, you see their frontals. Frontals need to go. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? I actually like frontals. Frontals can be very nice. They look really, really good when they are styled properly. The problem is with the styling, okay? Because in most of their confessionals and even on the show, I noticed that I was seeing their lace. Some laces were not blended properly. I mean, the color of the lace, it was giving lace, okay? And then for some of them, I could actually see the tacky glue. Now, if you're going to be on a show like that, where you have really bright lights on you and as well as really sharp cameras, you know, focused on your face, I think you should try and make sure that you blend your lace really well. Or just go for closures like me, okay? Go for glueless wigs, or make sure you do your frontals really well, because I was seeing lots of lace and lots of glue and it looks tacky. It took away from the beauty, because their makeup will be on point, their outfits will be on point, and then you just see one white line here, like, why? Anyway, Nadia and Fantana are arriving together for the wedding. We also have Naked DJ and his girlfriend Kaylee also arriving together. Naked DJ tells us that they've moved in together. If you guys remember the previous season. By the way, if you've not watched the previous seasons, I highly suggest you go and watch them before you watch this particular season, okay? Because when season 1 came out, I actually did not watch it when it came out. It was when season 2 came out that I went back and watched season 1, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was actually missing out, okay? So try and go and watch season 1 and 2 before you continue. But if you don't really care about watching any of them, then you're welcome. I'm going to give you guys all the tea. So in the previous season, Naked DJ and his girlfriend were having issues about moving in or not moving in. He felt like he didn't want to rush things with her because he has been married twice before and he didn't want to mess things up the third time. So we were thinking he was going to propose to her. Instead, he proposed for them to move in together. Like, he proposed to her with the key to his house, right? It was very annoying. But anyway, yeah, so this season he said they're living together and things are going well. Louis and Swanky also show up for the event. Swanky says that he's healed, he has been in therapy, and he's healed from a narcissistic friendship. I think he's referring to Annie, and you know, he's not here for drama. He doesn't want drama. He's just here healed and mature. # mature. And in my mind, I was like, I like drama. Please, if you're not going to give us drama, step aside, okay? But he also says that he doesn't want any triggers. So that tells me that the Swanky that we know is going to pop out at some point. It's also important to mention that Louis and Fantana were close in the previous season. Actually, Louis said he had a crush on Fantana and he was like trying to pursue her. But Fantana is like, oh, the guy is too slow, you know, that he's supposed to come and take her away from Diamond. So she's not really interested in him. And he said, oh, that he's too good for her, that it seems she likes the bad boys. I think she even told him that she likes, you know, the bad boys and all of that. And bad boy she's with, okay? You see that Diamond, Platinum. I don't know what girls see in him, but the guy is a no good fellow, okay? Annie and Swanky greet. They were quite pleasant with each other, but we could tell that there were underlying, you know, tensions between them. And then Annie was saying that the greeting was kind of fake. I don't know what that means. Annie also said that she has a bone to pick with Nadia because of how Nadia took sides with Swanky and said, oh, Annie is not her friend, so she cannot really like talk to Annie in the previous season, right? And for me, let me just divert a bit, okay? When it comes to Annie, I am not sure what's going on with that lady, okay? Annie is giving me vibes that something is seriously wrong, okay? People have, you know, put out rumors out there that she does drugs and stuff like that. I can neither confirm nor deny it, okay? Please, allegedly, I was not there, okay? I was not there, but I can see why people think that, okay? She's always very jittery. She's always up and down. There's just something going on with Annie that I am not sure of. And, you know, I really wish that maybe this season she can really open up and say the truth about what is going on with her, because clearly we can all see, even the cast mentioned it several times, we can all see that there's something going on with Annie that is not, you know, it's not pleasant, right? But she tries to mask it. She tries to smile. She tries to sound like she's happy, she's good, but it comes out, okay? It comes out really well. I'm not saying that the rest of of them don't have issues. They all have issues, but Annie's own is peculiar in the way it manifests itself, okay? So before they moved to the wedding venue proper, they were all gathered somewhere that had a sit out, and they were just catching up with each other, you know, just talking. And then they brought up the husband's age. Annie actually asked how old the husband was, and they were like, they're not sure. They think he's like 27 or in his 20s basically. And Annie just couldn't keep her mouth shut. She was like, oh, he's 20, oh, he's this, hey, he's young, go here, hey. And I was just like, this girl is just drama, right? She was legit shocked, okay, but the way she was going about it, it was like, calm down now, let's take it easy. Moving on, they introduced us to Shakib, Zari's husband-to-be. The guy looks good. He said he deals in minerals. He also sells cars, and he's also a boxer. I checked his age. His age as at now, I think he's 33. So I don't know when they filmed the season, but as at today, when I checked his age, he's actually 33, while Zari is 44. Okay, so that's quite an age gap. Yeah, but the guy looks really, really good. I mean, Zari is also a very pretty lady, so they kind of look good together, but you can tell that she's, you know, older than he is. So they show us where Naked DJ goes to have a conversation with him, and then he's asking Naked DJ about Diamond Platinum's relationship with Zari, that, you know, he's not really sure if there's something still there, like if they still love each other, because basically how they act when they meet each other, they are kind of touchy, they kind of cross boundaries. So he's a bit skeptical about their relationship. And Naked was like, you're skeptical and you are still on your wedding day. You're asking me this question on your wedding day. You are skeptical about the wife you want to marry. Okay, now, well done. But in spite of that, Naked tries to assuade him, you know, just tell him that, oh, Zari is different when she's with you. You are the only man on earth for Zari. You know, she loves you. She's this, she's that. My man, I was like, okay, oh. Let's see now, let's see. But Naked also said that, you know, the way Zari is, he doesn't think that Zari will still be hung up on diamonds, that, you know, she's such a bad bitch, that kind of, you know, that kind of vibe, that once she moves away from something, he doubts that she will go back to it, okay? And I was like, all right. Then they head into the wedding venue proper. The wedding was quite beautiful. It was an intimate event, a garden event. So it was quite beautiful. You know, the husband, Shakib, looked really good. One thing I noticed about Shakib is that he looks and sounds very mature, very, you know, stoic, very masculine. He exudes like confidence, okay? Even though he's younger, I mean, he's a 33-year-old, okay, so he's not even that young, but, you know, he sounds really mature and acts really mature. Okay, so he walked down the aisle looking good. But before then, Louis came in with a lady who, you know, had big bum bum as well, and is quite older but looks well taken care of. Like, she takes care of herself really well. She was really beautiful. And they asked him, Nadia specifically asked him if that was his girlfriend, and he said yes. And I was like, what's going on? Like, what in the cougar is going on here? But later on he said she's not his girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, so they were all gathered at the wedding. And Annie, in her usual Annie fashion, had so much to say about the wedding. She was like, oh, it's the same venue for my vow renewal. It's the same vibe. It's the same this. Oh, why didn't Zari tell me that she's a fan? I was like, who asked you, auntie? Like, who asked you? Neda was even trying to tell her that, oh, it's not the same venue. Then even after Shakib walks down the aisle, Annie said out loud, oh my God, he's so young. That everybody was like, shh. Nadia and I think Fantana, they were like, shh, like, take it easy, girl. You know, she was like, oh, then she now went on a tangent about how the boy is so young. This part, I really laughed at this part. You guys just pay attention, right? Annie Idibia was saying that, oh, the boy is too young, he doesn't know what he's going into, that he's just smitten by Zari because she is a star. Basically, like, the guy is just fascinated because she's a superstar, but that he doesn't really know what he's getting into. That has he really thought about how he's going to be taking care of her 5 kids? Okay. This is coming from Annie, whose husband had 5 kids. you know, before he had his first child with her, right? He already had 5 kids, and mind you, they were still together when all these things were happening. So I was like, that's rather rich coming from you, Annie. Like, read the room, okay? Put a mirror in front of you and look at yourself. Maybe she's talking from experience, but I don't think so. She was actually coming from a place of, oh, on my high horse, judging the world. I was like, hey, can you listen to yourself? But anyway, I get what she's saying about him, okay? Like, her concerns are valid, but it's the wrong messenger, okay? It's the wrong messenger, it is the wrong time, but her concerns are kind of valid, because let's not forget that Zari has been married. Now, this is her 3rd marriage, I think, either 3rd or 4th marriage. Okay, so with the age difference and stuff, there are actually valid concerns there, but Annie, it is not your concern. So Zari also walked down the aisle. You know, she looked really beautiful. Everybody was just raving about how beautiful she looks. Her outfit, her everything was really, really nice. And then she walked down the aisle and exchanged vows with him. And she sounded really different, really calm, really happy. Even her vows, she promised to support him. She promised to be there for him. So it was all good, actually. Then while still at the wedding venue, not the reception, at the wedding venue, Annie decides to confront Nadia about what Nadia said about how they're not friends. Nadia was like, hello, place and time, sis, place and time. But Annie was just talking. Nadia actually ignored her. Annie was now saying things under her breath and stuff. But, you know, it's a good thing that Nadia ignored her, because what do you mean at the wedding venue you want to start raising dust? Like, read the room, auntie. After this, they all proceed to the reception. The reception venue looks really nice as well. Zari was being very petty. Zari put the table for Fantana and Diamond very far, like almost away from the rest of the guests. She just puts them in one corner of the hall. But unfortunately and fortunately, Diamond did not attend the wedding, so it was just Fantana just sitting at one corner of the wedding, which it serves her right, to be honest. If you insult me on social media, if you're dating my ex-husband and you're saying things about me, you know, in public, things he told you about me, then why are you coming for my wedding? Like, why are you coming? I know, yes, because they are on the cast of this and that, is a reality show, she has to show up, but I would respectfully decline, okay? Like, let's keep it 100. On a normal day, Fantana will not even go for that wedding. In fact, on a normal day, Zari will not even invite Fantana for that wedding, because it was just awkward. It's at this point that the new addition to the cast is introduced to us. So basically, she's Swanky's friend. So Swanky is the one introducing her to the group. And she says, wait, first of all, she said she is a digital media content creator. I was like, what do you mean by that? You mean influencer? Because I don't understand. Which one is digital media content creator? It's like when they say, give me 5 pages and you want to just fill up the pages, you not be adding words up and down. Just say you're a content creator. Which one is digital media content creator? But anyway, or influencer. She also says she's an entrepreneur, she's into fashion, and she's a trouble enthusiast. Okay, hopefully we'll get to see more of her as the show goes. But yeah, she looks really good. She has a very nice banging body, and the outfit she wore, the slit was almost getting to her pelvic bone. I was like, hey, help us, so walk carefully. Don't flash us here, please, okay? But she looks really good. And when she was walking in, she walked in basically across the stage. Like, she didn't even try to go through the corners. And this kind of ticked Zari off, because, I mean, it's my wedding. I'm supposed to be the center of attention. Why are you using my wedding to come and start drawing attention to yourself? Next thing, Annie says she wants to give a speech. Me, I was like, speech kwa? Speech for what? Sit your ass down, sister. That she kind of feels bad because she did not invite Zari for her own wedding, like her vow renewal. So I was like, if you didn't invite Zari for a vow renewal, why do you think that Zari is copying you? Because she wasn't there. Anyway, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it sounds far-fetched. She continues with her speech saying, oh, you're a nice person. I would like to get to know you better. Thank you for inviting me. She even tears up and starts crying, gets choked up, starts whispering. Drama. let me not lie. I know I'm coming for Annie a lot, but I actually like her on the show because she's stirring the pot left, right, and center. Like with her erratic ways, she's stirring the pot left, right, and center. But that was it about the wedding. Next thing, the next day or some other day, we see Diamond Platnumz. He says he wasn't invited to the wedding, but I saw where they wrote your name. Anyway, he wasn't invited to the wedding, so he meets up with Naked DJ at the barbers. They went to the barber shop, and then Naked DJ was not telling him that, oh, why were you not there at the wedding? It would have been nice for you to come and support, show your kids that you support their mother. So Diamond was like, oh, after the issues him and Zari had on social media, she even said it on social media that he is cancelled. So basically, after the whole Fantana issue on social media, his relationship with Zari and the kids became estranged, that he feels like the way she invited him for the wedding, or that she didn't invite him. He said you guys, Diamond is such a liar. Just have that at the back of your mind while you watch this show, that he lies at the drop of a hat. Like, he doesn't even think about it. He will just start lying. So we're not really sure whether she invited him or not. My money is on she actually invited him. In the same breath, he's saying that, oh, he feels like she should have invited him a certain way, but he's also saying that he wasn't invited. But anyway, Naked asked him if he has met Shakib. He said no. And Naked was like, how have you not met the guy that's going to be taking care of your kids, essentially? How have you not met him, right? Then Naked also asked him if he was jealous of Zari getting married, because he feels like Zari is his lost love, like he really likes Zari, that is he jealous? And he was like, no, how can I be jealous of something that I can get? That if I want my family back, I can get it. This one, that one. I was just like, I don't disagree with him, okay? I don't disagree with him. On a normal day, I would, but seeing how things go on the show, I don't disagree with him. So, there's this thing that the show does that I actually love. They always make sure that conversations are happening simultaneously, at least how they show it on the show, right? So we have conversations simultaneously about issues on the show. So on the one hand, we have Annie meeting with Fantana. She says she wants to have lunch with Fantana so that she'll get to know Fantana better. On the other hand, we have Zari meeting with Nadia and Cathy. Okay, so Nadia and Cathy kind of know each other. Zari says she wants to get to know them and just basically kind of catch up with Nadia on what happened during her wedding. Okay, so when she got there, trust Nadia to download everything to her, because Nadia has a bone to pick with Annie for disgracing her or trying to disgrace her at the wedding. So Nadia now started telling Zari about how Annie had so much to say about everything at the wedding, both the venue, her husband, this and that, and then she comes to give that fake speech, basically how Annie, something is wrong with Annie. After coming for her and all doing so much, then you go and start giving a speech. You're like, something is wrong with Annie. Then we have Annie on the other hand talking to Fantana about her relationship with Zari, because Fantana was kind of confused that me and you, we don't like Zari. I mean, we're supposed to not like Zari. How come you're doing the most, giving a speech at her wedding? So Annie was like, oh, it wasn't fake. What was fake about what I said? Yes, I would like to get to know her better. Yes, I was thankful that she invited me to her wedding, and I was shocked she invited me. So what did I actually say that was fake? Then the conversation now moves to Swanky. Annie is now telling Fantana about what Swanky did, how Swanky lied, that there was a voice note of her saying different things that she was going to do to Swanky. Swanky is such a user. Swanky is this, Swanky is that. They used to be so close. They used to do so many things together. All of a sudden, Swanky is coming for her and even coming for Tubaba. Tubaba that is even, their papa, basically like Tubaba is like their oga, like their boss, and he has the audacity to come for Two-Face. Annie, I'm going to hold your hands while I say this, right? You need to let it go, okay? You need to let it go, especially the part where you are always talking about, oh, Tubaba this, Tubaba that. You need to let that go, because you are bringing a lot of insult to yourself and to Two-Face by always bringing him up and always saying he's this, is that. I'm not saying that Two-Face is not who he is. I'm not saying that, oh, Swanky has a right to go and disrespect Two-Face, especially because Two-Face kind of welcomed Swanky into his life because of Annie, right? I'm not saying that what Swanky did is good if he really did it, but all I'm saying is that just you need to let it go, okay? You need to let it go. Anyway, the episode ends with Zari angry about what Annie said about her husband, saying that Annie needs to mind her business and she needs to focus on her husband, who is getting women pregnant all over the globe, okay? Everywhere. So the next scene, we see that Cathy is inviting the cast to a small gathering that she wants to meet them and talk with them and get to know them better. Okay, so that's where the episode ends really, and then we start the next episode 2, still with the same event. Okay, so Louis comes in saying that, oh, he's not going to be the bigger person for anybody, that he's tired of being the bigger person. I was like, okay, that right now anybody that, you know, if you want to go low, he will go low with you. Then we also see Annie meets with Cathy. They get along quite quickly. Cathy says she likes Annie, that she likes Annie's vibes, and that she doesn't know why Annie is being misunderstood, and because they are both mothers, they bond on that. When Nadia arrives, she's maintaining energy, she's not smiling with Annie. She's like, oh, Annie came for me at Zari's wedding, so I don't need to come and, you know, shine it with her. It's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, like I'm not here for that two-faced behavior. Like she's going to call Annie out. So she comes in, you know, she kind of greets Annie though, but not serious, just how are you and everything. She sits down and she's talking with Cathy. So they're all discussing Zari's wedding. You know, next thing, Cathy is asking Annie what she thinks about Zari's wedding. And then Annie now says, well, that if that is love, then she is happy for Zari. And that was the opportunity that Nadia had to jump on Annie, to jump down Annie's throat, okay? Because she was just looking for the opportunity to enter Annie. She was like, oh, you're so shady, you're so negative, you always have something negative to say. That's a backhanded compliment. What do you mean by if that is love? Why do you care about the boy's age? Because Annie said, oh, because of the boy's age and all of that. But like, what do you care about the boy's age? Why do you always have to say something negative about something, you know? Basically trying to caution Annie, right? And then Annie and Nadia get into it, and then Annie storms off. She was getting really pissed off. Then she storms off, and then Cathy was like, Nadia, you are the one that was, you know, advising me about the group, but you did not tell me that you're going to be part of people that are going to bring the drama, right? And she was like, oh, that no, she just had to talk to Nadia now was just saying, no, she just had to talk to Annie because it was just too much and all of that, right? Then Louis arrives, and Nadia is asking him about the lady at the wedding, and he was like, oh, she's just my friend, just my special friend. And they were like, special friend how? I asked you if she was your girlfriend, and you said yes. So special friend how? He was like, oh, she's just a special friend, she's just a girl who is my friend, you know, nothing serious and all of that. He now tried to, you know, move to Cathy. He said Cathy is kind of girl that he sees himself getting serious with, basically. And then Cathy was telling him that, oh, she doesn't date younger guys because she's like 33 or so, while he's 30. She was like, oh, she doesn't date younger guys under any circumstance. Louis was like, oh, he's not going to give up, he's still going to try. Fantana and Zari also arrive, right? So Zari is kind of half teasing, half joking, half we can't have three halves, okay? But she's kind of teasing, kind of joking, but she's kind of serious as well. And then she's asking Cathy about why Cathy basically walked in to her wedding the way she walked into the wedding, right? Being a +1 and all of that. And then Cathy was like, oh, I just was looking for Swanky. I was looking for my seat because Swanky was not picking his call. As at the time that I arrived, so I was calling Swanky, he didn't pick his call. So I was just walking in looking for my seat. So they all smiled, you know, that kind of fake smile. So Cathy was like, okay, it seems that Zari was not really joking, and that Zari is kind of person that likes to poke the bear, tries to stir up drama. So she just has her eyes for Zari, right? Then Zari now says, Nadia, who are you dating now? Are you dating? Nadia was like, oh no, she's not dating. That right now she's almost like a virgin because it's now back to reset. She has not dated in a while. She doesn't have, basically she's not dating. And then Zari now says, but I know that Fantana has so many niggas that she can, you know, chat up or something like that. Fantana just said, you know what, get behind me, Satan, not today, Satan, okay? Fantana decided to ignore Zari, and then Zari now says, oh, there's somebody here who doesn't talk about dating at all, and that was Louis. So what's up with you? Who are you dating? At that point, Naked and Kaylee also arrived. So Naked was like, oh, Louis actually told us that he likes Cathy, Okay, and the next thing, Fantana just starts flaring up that, oh, you always like everybody. Is it that you just like the way they look, or you actually like them? Okay, do you like them, or just the way they look? Are you sure you like them, or you just like the way they look and like their body, or you like them? She was just going on and on about how he always has a crush on this person, he likes that person, that he's just confused. Initially, Louis, in his usual manner, kept quiet. Then it was almost as if a light bulb or a switch just went off in his head, and he was like, hold up, wait a minute, I'm not going to let this slide.
But no.
Okay, let's toast, guys.
No, wait, hold on. Wait.
I'm going to address this. He now started removing his shirt too. I was like, do you want to punch somebody? Do you want to fight? But basically, he removed his top. He was not saying that no, he's not confused. That what of Fantana? Fantana has so many people that she's, dating, so many men that she's with. So who gave her the right to be basically telling him that he's confused, that she's the one that is confused? They didn't turn to fight though. They started going at each other. Fantana was now saying, oh, with his cheap this, he was like, oh, that's what you always go to. Your go-to is always cheap this, cheap that. That Naked, can you even name 3 of Fantana's songs? And in a very shady way, Naked in his confessionals now said, does Fantana even have up to 3 songs?
To name 3 of her songs.
Does Fantana have 3 songs?
But she was like, oh, you with your fake this, your fake that, you're a designer who wears your clothes. Anyway, they just became very petty, went at each other, insulted each other's life. At this point, Fantana even storms off as well. Drama. So the next thing we see Zari, because Zari was there at the event with Shakib, okay? So we see them discussing the next day, and Zari is trying to tell Shakib that that's my family, those are my people, those are my friends, like forget our drama, forget our pettiness, that we actually like each other, that we're toxic, but we always come together and have fun and be happy. And I was like, when have you guys ever come together and have fun and had fun, right? When have you guys ever come together and just show love? It's either 1 or 2 people in the group show love to each other, but as a group, I won't even call them friends, not to talk of family. So it's either the show, or they are just acting to give us drama for the show, or Zari is just talking rubbish. Zari is also asking him if he doesn't mind meeting with Diamond, basically, just so that they can meet each other and just talk and all of that. And he's like, he doesn't have any problem with Diamond. His own is just boundaries, okay? Like, don't be touching each other and be doing too much when I'm there. To me, it's even quite shocking that even after getting married, like after you've already gotten married, you are still talking about certain boundaries. Like, it's not adding up. Like, these are conversations that you guys should have had extensively before you both decided to walk down the aisle. So I don't get why they're having that conversation even after they are married, except she had done some new things again to make him question her feelings for what's his name, for Diamond, right? But anyway, we see Fantana meet up with Diamond, and Fantana is there saying, oh, she has an issue with Diamond because Diamond lied to her that he doesn't have a relationship. Meanwhile, after she had finished defending him, fighting the group for him, on social media, everybody knows that Diamond has a girlfriend. The girlfriend even came out, why didn't you tell me the truth? And then this guy is just lying to her face. He's not even a good liar. That's what even shocks me about the reaction, because even the way he's talking, you can tell that he's lying. He's like, no, she's just my artist. And then Fantana is like, oh, that if he was really upfront with her, she will know whether she will do or she will not do, even if he has a girlfriend, right? But even in his confessionals, this guy was saying that, you have to lie to them now. You have to lie to her so that she will like you. If you don't lie to her, she will not like you. This guy even gave her flowers and told her that, oh, he got these flowers from Tanzania. Meanwhile, in his confessionals, he's saying that it's not true. So I'm like, why are you lying? Just for the sake of lying. Like, why the hell are you lying? He's not even trying too hard to wash her head, to be honest. And she's falling for it. Like, she's really melting because he's telling her, oh, she looks so good. She's this, she's that. He even now says, oh, that will you go home with me? You know why now? You know why? Like, will you go home with me? She was like, yes. She didn't even argue. She didn't even like try to pretend. She was just like, yes, I know what you want.
What are we doing tonight?
What do you want to do?
You don't know what I want to see. Let's go home.
Okay.
I don't see the appeal. I don't know what they see in the guy, but if you like it, I love it for you. Cathy and Swanky meet up to catch up and basically talk about the events that she had. She talked about how she misses him and all of that. And then she told him how Zari basically came for her about the way she walked into the event and stuff like that. So Swanky was kind of taken aback. He was like, why will Zari be confronting you about something like that, knowing that you are my plus one and you're my person? You know, he doesn't expect Zari to come for her, knowing that she is his person. But yeah, Cathy calls Zari the rat that bites you and then blows air so that you don't feel it. Okay, I've forgotten what they call that rat, whether it's Isinwe or something like that. There's a particular rat that does like that. It will be chewing your flesh and be blowing breeze so you don't feel it. It's in the morning that you will now feel it, okay? I've never experienced it before, but I've heard people talk about it, right? Even in secondary school, I heard about it. Yeah, so the next scene we see where Zari and Diamond are meeting up with the kids. Diamond is telling his kids that, you know, why didn't they call him? Is it because of their mother? They talk about their issues and they kind of resolve their issues. Then Diamond says something like, oh, you know, we have 2 kids together and they are our favorite kids at that. She has kids from a different man, while he has kids from different women. So basically, these are their favorite kids. Okay, it makes sense within the context of their relationship, but why would I come on TV and tell people that I have 2 favorite kids? Like, it doesn't make sense out of all my kids. But anyway, it's Diamonds. Like, I don't really expect much from him at this point, or even from Zari, to be honest. I don't really expect much from both of them. Now, again, another set of simultaneous conversations. We have Swanky, Nadia, and Zari meet up, and then we also have Cathy and Annie meet up. Okay, so Cathy and Annie, they meet up because Cathy actually likes Annie, and she keeps saying that Annie is misunderstood, Annie is a sweet soul, Annie doesn't really have issues, blah, 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 blah. I can see why she would say that, okay? I can actually see why she would say that, because Annie seems like the kind of person who is quick to try to move on, but she doesn't actually move on, right? She's always quick to be the bigger person, but she doesn't stay the bigger person, okay? So Nadia, Swanky, and Zari are discussing. First of all, Swanky is asking Zari, why did you come at Cathy? And then Zari is saying, oh, it wasn't that serious. Does she think it was serious? It wasn't serious. I was just joking. You know, but you have to be careful with this your plus ones you're always introducing to us. Nadia was like, yes, this your plus ones. Now remember that Swanky is the one who introduced them to Annie and Bonang. So I get why the ladies are like, anybody you bring into our group is always a problem. So we have to be skeptical. But anyway, they moved on from that. And then Nadia was now downloading all the gist of everything. Swanky kept repeating that he just feels sorry for Annie. He doesn't really care about, you know, all this drama. He just feels sorry for her. He feels pity for her, that she's going through a lot. Okay, he was saying it in a genuine kind of way. He sounded really genuine, that, you know, you are going through issues, right? I just feel sorry for you. And then on the other hand, remember, we're having simultaneous conversations. On the other hand, Annie is telling Cathy that she just feels sorry for Nadia, that Nadia basically lost, you know, the love of her life, which is AKA, and Nadia's music did not blow, and that the music was quite good, but the music did not blow. So basically, she's angry at the world, that Nadia is just angry at the world. Then they show Nadia. Nadia is now saying that Annie is just delusional. I agree that Annie is being delusional, okay? I also agree that Nadia is kind of angry. She sounds kind of easily irritated, right? But it's like, Annie, because Annie sounded, when Swanky was saying that he feels sorry for Annie, it felt kind of genuine. Maybe not 100% genuine, right? But it felt kind of genuine.
Please, you guys just forgive Annie.
So you guys think you're cool?
I think Annie is going through a lot that we probably don't know about.
She apologized. I forgave her. I've moved on.
But when Annie was saying she feels sorry for Nadia, it just felt like shade to me. I'm sorry. It felt very shady. It felt like a backhanded compliment again. Like she was trying to just insult Nadia, but she was now feigning, oh, I feel sorry for her.
She finally found love and she lost it so quick. She's mourning. The trolls are not making it easy on her. She must be mad at the world as it is. So it's a lot Nadia is going through by herself.
Well, Annie, that's so strong of you to actually say that.
What is the truth?
And Cathy was eating it all up. Cathy was like, oh yes, it's true. She was like, oh, I will not entertain anything. That's what Annie was saying, I will not even entertain, I won't even talk to her because I know she's going through a lot. And then Cathy was like, yes, don't engage. But you are the one that has been engaging. You are the one that has been bringing up stuff. And now you are saying you don't want to engage because you feel sorry for her. Like, anyway, next thing we see Shakib and Diamond meeting and they're having a conversation. Again, Shakib sounds very mature. He sounds very confident, very masculine, very sure of himself. Diamond is just Diamond, right? But, you know, I like the maturity that Shakib showed, you know, talking to Diamond, man to man, basically trying to just say, oh, I don't want any issues with you. I don't have any issues with you. I mean, obviously, you have really good kids. I like your kids, and I don't want us to have any issues. Basically, he just wanted a very peaceful, co-parenting, coexistence kind of, you know, setting, right? But he did not shy away from telling Diamonds that there has to be boundaries. Okay, there has to be boundaries. Diamonds has to respect and not, you know, disrespect Zari, especially out in the open, and also not disrespect him as well by being touchy-feeling or saying stuff about Zari, right? Because one of the things that Diamond said was that Zari was trying to have another kid with him. Shakib had asked or confronted Zari about it, and Zari had basically denied that it happened. So Diamond was not telling Shakib that no, she actually did. She actually talked to me. I wasn't just saying things. She actually told me that she wanted another kid with me. So Shakib was like, okay, he's going to ask her about it. And Diamond was like, yes, put her on the phone, you know, ask her to show you text messages. She actually offered, you know, for us to have another child. Then Diamond was now gloating in his confessionals that, yeah, she wanted the Diamond baby. She wanted another baby from the king, from this. I was just like, all right, okay, brah. Then we are on to the main showdown of the show. Kaylee organizes an event for the whole cast, saying that, you know, she just came back, so she wanted to just do something nice for all of them and just catch up with them. And her event was really glamorous, okay? It was a diamonds and pearls event. They looked really good. They all wore like black and white or black or white. I feel like throughout this season so far, all their events are either black or white or black and white. By the way, when it comes to Kaylee and what is his name, Naked DJ, I just feel like they're like the plus one of the event. They are like the attaché of the event. I don't know how to explain it. They are almost like they're just there to facilitate things for the main cast to do what they do. Basically, they are almost like they are not part of the main cast. They are just there to help the main cast to basically do the show, right? Annie walks in and greets Swanky, all smiley, all very happy, very, very nicely. She greets very nicely, and Zari turns to Swanky and says, you know, she's so fake. Like, and Swanky is like, I know, tell me about it. Like, really, like, after everything you said about me, you are here shining teeth, smiling, and just acting really fake. Because before then, Santana actually met with Swanky again and gave him the gist again. So it was still fresh in his mind. And then imagine her coming in and just smiling with him as if there's nothing wrong. The fakeness was just too much. And Zari was really, really ticked off about it. She was already hot before they even had a conversation. She was already like ready for Annie. She was ready. But Swanky kept saying that, you know, he can't be bothered. He's not here for this drama. He's not all of that. Okay, whatever. So while they are all seated, Swanky now again openly addresses Zari and Cathy, and Zari was like, oh no, it wasn't a big deal. You know, Swanky was telling Cathy that, oh, he talked to Zari and Zari said it wasn't a big deal. And then Cathy was like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't a big deal the way I received it, but it just felt like you were trying to instigate things and come for me. And then Zari was like, oh no, it wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious. And then Annie, you know, Annie is always falling into their trap. They always set trap for Annie, and Annie always falls into it. Annie now turns and tells Cathy, oh yeah, you know, you have to get used to Zari. That was when Zari now did, unleash the dragon. She was like, oh yes, Annie, let's talk about you right now. Let's not even beat about the bush, Annie. What did you say about my husband? Annie was like, oh yes, I said he's young. Why are you offended? If you're okay with it, why are you offended? And
I'm not paying. Why is it your problem?
If you're not paying, you'll not be raking like
why
this.
is it your problem?
Annie has a point, to be honest. Like, if you are really cool with it, why is the fact that somebody is pointing out the age of your husband, which is a fact, by the way, why does it rub you off the wrong way? Like, why is it making you angry? Now, I get Zari's part as well. I guess why Zari is angry, because we all know that Annie was not just saying it for the sake of saying it. She was basically talking smack about Zari, right? So I get why she feels the way she feels, right? And she was like, oh, you will not mind your business, you will not focus on your 50-year-old husband who is going everywhere impregnating girls. And Annie was like, oh, where's the baby? Where's the baby?
Annie, your man is almost 50 and he's running around sleeping with 20-year-olds, making them pregnant. But you want to talk about my husband?
Where's the baby?
Your husband has kids all over Africa
Where's the
and
baby?
beyond.
Wait, where's the baby?
Annie, you're leaving your business unattended, looking at other people's houses.
And you see, like, Two-Face is always going to mod you, and he's always going to be receiving stray bullets wherever he is, but he's always going to mod you because your situation is a very modern situation, okay? Very, very muddy. There's always going to be mod whenever his topic is brought up, because he gave basically everybody enough ammunition against you, okay? But there's something that Annie said that I actually laughed at because it was quite funny. Annie said to Zari that when your son, because by the way, Zari has a grown-up son, like a grown-up son, like he looks like he's 20 or 20 something, right? He looks like a young man, right? So Annie now says, while your son and your husband are out clubbing, your old ass you as an old woman, you're going to be at home resting. It was quite funny the way she said it.
Your sons and your husband will be clubbing together when your old ass
Exactly. That is me and my husband. We have that vibe.
Zari was like, oh yeah, whatever. That's the kind of relationship that I have with my husband, okay? But you're just Two-Faced, like your husband's name. You are Mrs. Two-Faced. You know, the child went at each other. And then Cathy decided to jump in and was like, oh, you guys, can we just be silent? Okay, can we have a moment of silence? And then Zari was like, who died? Moment of silence, that what? Who died? And then Cathy now got offended. She was not like, Zari, you can't talk to me that way, okay? I'm not going to take it from you. You cannot talk to me that way. Then in her confessional, she said something, okay?
Zari mustn't think that I'm any, that she can bully anytime. I'm not that kind of cheapskate. You must better be careful of what you say to me.
And I was like, doesn't she understand that by this her statement, she's actually throwing shade at Annie as well? I get where she's coming from, don't get me wrong, but it almost feels like she's indirectly throwing shade at Annie. It means that she sees Annie as, of course it can fly with Annie, but don't bring it to me, right? But anyway, Zari was like, okay, for Kaylee's sake, I'm just going to let it go. But, you know, she was very, very pissed off. Then even while they were going at it, Annie was now calling her Swanky. Are you going to just watch it, sit down there and watch this? I was like, what are you calling Swanky for? Like, what's Swanky's business? Like, when you were saying the things you were saying, you did not know that Swanky was your friend or Swanky was somebody that would be in your corner, and you went ahead saying things about him. So now you want him to come and defend you. For what reason? But yeah, that's pretty much where episode 2 ended. You know, they just attitude up and down. I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. But let me know what you guys think about episodes 1 and 2 only, okay, in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video, which is episodes 3 and 4. Okay, bye guys.